So here I am. I'm at my mom and dad's. I used to sit here like after I get off work early, because on Fridays and Saturdays we used to go racing. I'd sit here out front. My mom and dad's. They have this big 17-acre lake that my dad built. Yeah, before I get ready and go to the racetrack, usually at Paducah on Fridays, and usually just Fridays, because Saturday I didn't usually work because I stayed up all night racing. But, yeah. I used to sit here with my dog, my little white German Shepherd named Jocko. He was my best buddy. Like, you just don't get good friends like that unless you get a pet, or... you get good friends like that. That's not to undermine any of my friends, but it's just a beautiful place here. It's another one of those things that kind of centers me. I don't want to say grounded again, because it's not really that. It's just it kind of makes me reassess myself and come back to, like, a middle ground where I can then, navigate whatever's going on, hopefully. Hopefully. But, sometimes just taking time out to do things like that. I'm sorry if that's rubbing at all on the microphone. I hope not. But, trying something out with my earbuds instead of using, like, an auxiliary microphone with my phone. Because there's not really a good way to plug a Samsung up. Turns out that they took those 35mm headphone jacks away from us a little while back. But, yeah, me butt-umming over here. Just kind of probably one of my first places that once I gained the knowledge of, okay, let's breathe, let's take a step back, and let's kind of figure out what everything is, and, reassess everything, strategize, do all that fun stuff, or, just simply take a deep breath and enjoy what you're doing, enjoy the beauty around you, enjoy living in the moment. Especially since that's pretty much all that there is. There is no future or past, there's just now that's been extended either way. And, yeah. Times are tough in America these days, and I understand that a lot of people are feeling either disenfranchised by politics or feeling actively oppressed, especially, it's Pride Month. It's Pride Month, and there's a Juneteenth coming up here within, a week and a day? So, speaking of Pride Month, I want to send out my condolences, my thoughts and prayers to those involved with the Pulse shooting. Like, it's not a good anniversary, but if we can find unity in something that's tragic like that, we can almost find unity in anything. Or I would at least like to think it's possible if we can find unity in something that tragic and that horrific. But, again, I don't know, I've just kind of sat back and looked at everything again, and it's just working for day-to-day living is getting harder and harder. And not only that, it seems like it's less and less worth it. Like, it's not satisfying to just know that you're working to pay bills, to buy food, to get through the next day and the next week and the next month and so on and so forth. And I understand that that's part of how we have to do things, but it's also not how we have to do them. Like, as people, we shouldn't be forced to work for someone else's profit or for someone else's gain and not be guaranteed those blessings of life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, and, food, water, shelter, all those fun things that we have to have as basic human needs. It's kind of horrible that we have to point that kind of stuff out to people that, just being alive kind of constitutes certain inalienable rights, but I don't want to say that those came from a higher power or a god or a creator or anything, because I don't really believe that they do. I think that they're intrinsic as you're born on this planet. Most of us, I mean, unless that you time traveled back and planned your own test tube birth or something crazy like that, most of us didn't choose, at least not in this life, if you believe in reincarnation, but we didn't choose to come here. We didn't choose to be born. We didn't choose to be birthed into existence, but yet here we are all existing without our consent. And it kind of sucks for some people. Like, I was fortunate enough to at least have been born in America, which is kind of one of the more red conservative pockets in America. Especially for our state, because I live in Illinois, and I mean, living in the southern end is kind of like, I don't know, it'd be like saying the southern part of Florida is Democrat compared to the rest of the state. Up in the Panhandle, it's red. It's kind of the opposite here. It's blue everywhere else, except for pretty much south of Interstate 64. Get up to Mount Vernon and anything south of that. It's pretty red. And a lot of the places, I mean, ironically, against their best interests, the farmers are there too. Because unless that you're a big budget, non-mom and pop type farming operation, it's tough to make it doing that anymore. Year in and year out, especially with the unpredictable weather and things like that, literally things of that nature. It's times like this that I love to sit back and just take in the beauty all around, but it's not a great place to live for someone that's transitioning if you don't pretty much just keep to yourself, or if you're not a transplant from someone else, somewhere else. It's just kind of one of those things, like, they're even called sundown towns still. There's one nearby, Illinois is still kind of weird. Not that Vienna's any better. 20 miles doesn't make that much difference, sadly. But I don't know. It's not just for the people on the queer side of things. It's also for people in minorities like Latinos, Asians, blacks. I mean, anyone that is not a white Anglo-Saxon Protestant and or Catholic. Which even the Catholics are kind of the minority. I mean, they're not, obviously, in the worldwide sense, but of the people in southern Illinois, I would say that a greater percentage are probably either like a Pentecostal or a Baptist or Methodist. There's Lutherans, there are Catholics. There's a few different denominations that are kind of big here. I mean, heck, we even have the Amish that are still around, and Mennonites, and they all still have a church. Ironically, to mention Anna earlier, it's kind of in between. It's on a place called Mount Pleasant, which is, I don't know that the name really fits the place. I can't speak one way or the other because I'm not a Mennonite. It's just a narrow mind, kind of a narrow mindset that they try and preach around here, and a non-inclusive, or, you just don't talk about that. Even though what's horrible is people here say that all the time. Stuff like, well, you just don't talk about that. That's behind closed doors. And you do that, It's just kind of a wink, wink, nudge, nudge, and sweep it under the rug and don't deal with it. But that's kind of a horrible way to be about it. It'd be nicer if we could just all get along and be a little more compassionate. And if you really don't care, then don't go whispering that all behind everyone's backs. Don't be going out. I mean, again, this is a small town, and it's not much better in the big cities. There's just a higher percentage of people to fade back into, kind of. Like, you've all got circles and little cliques and groups, but it's kind of just high school 2 or 3.0 or whatever you may be used to. I say that, but there were only maybe 450 students in the high school when I graduated between all 4 years. We only had, I think, 86 people, maybe 90, maybe, and that's pushing it. And we were a small class. I'm not going to say that we were a giant class for this area. There were mostly 120s above us and below us, but I'm kind of getting eaten up by mosquitoes. I did put some spray on earlier, but yeah, I'm sure that y'all don't want to just sit here and hear me ramble. Remember, the lesser of two evils is still evil. Don't pick it. We gotta stand up and quit allowing stuff like that to be mainstream anymore. Anyway, there's a little bit of light for me today. You know, straight from the most non-straight place in my heart, in HRT Heartland, you know. Woo. But thank you for watching. Comment, like, subscribe, share. Please do anything. It really, really touches me at the bottom of my heart to know that people actually care and want me to talk. And, I mean, even if they don't, I'm probably still going to keep doing stuff. But, thank you again, guys. Have a blessed day.